Good afternoon, and welcome to the registration webinar for the Regional Alliance Marketplace for Procurement, also known as RAMP. My name is Jessica Castanon, and on behalf of the Office of Procurement, we are pleased that you could join us today for this informative presentation. Today's webinar will include an overview of the RAMP registration process, including some commonly asked questions regarding registration, certifications, and opportunities. RAMP offers a vast number of contracting opportunities with the City of Los Angeles, as well as with other regional partners who use this platform to post opportunities. Please know that this presentation is being recorded, and you will receive a copy of the recording, the slide deck, and the chat history. We also kindly ask that you mute yourselves in order to clearly hear today's presentation. If you have any questions or comments during this presentation, feel free to drop them via the chat function, where we have staff available to answer your questions there in real time. However, if time permits, at the end of our presentation, we may take a few questions from the chat and answer them verbally before the session ends at 2. We hold these webinars on a monthly basis, and we would like to know how many folks have joined us this month. As such, we have a short survey that we ask you to respond to for our own information. We would like to know if you have ever attended one of our RAMP webinars presentations in the past. Please take a moment to respond. Crystal, can you please show us the results of the poll? Well, it's good to see how many new and returning attendees we have joining us for today's webinar. Thank you for your participation. Leah serves as the Deputy City Procurement Officer for the City of Los Angeles Office of Procurement. The office is not a team of buyers, but is responsible for reviewing and recommending changes for procurement policies, providing citywide training, and developing technologies to streamline and simplify the city's procurement process. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you, Jessica, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. Today, we'll be sharing information about RAMP, its functionalities, and how to look for procurement opportunities at the city using RAMP, and some answers to common questions we've received from other RAMP users. And I hope that by the end of this webinar, that you would actually choose to register and find a procurement opportunity to bid with us. So let me start off with, what is RAMP? Well, RAMP is an acronym that stands for Regional Alliance Marketplace for Procurement. It's hosted by the city, and we're actually making a lot of changes on RAMP. And so by January 8th of next year, city departments can opt to use RAMP's e-bidding capacity, which means you may start seeing the ability to not just look for opportunities, but to submit your bids through RAMP as well. We'll have links for demonstrations available on the RAMP website. And if you register for our newsletter, we'll also send information through our bi-weekly newsletters. Because of these changes, it's also important to note that RAMP will be shut down from December 9th of this year to January 7th of the next. And so during this 1-month period, that means that you'll not be getting any notifications on RAMP, and that you will not be able to access any of the functionalities on RAMP. But all for great things to come by January 8th. So what is RAMP? So if you're interested in doing business with the city, RAMP is the place to look. All city departments are required to post all their solicitations on here. And Crystal, if you can help me move to the next slide. So the city spends over $4.5 billion annually in goods and services, and they're all posted on RAMP. And if you take into consideration our regional partners, there's over $10 billion worth of procurement that gets posted on RAMP. And we're constantly working to add other partners and furthering the functionalities on this platform as well. And so if you go to the next slide, you'll see various public and private partners that have committed to using ramp. So it's not just the city. LAUSD is posts a lot, and as recent as 2 weeks ago, we now have the LA County's procurement opportunity feed showing up on ramp as well. So aside from our partners, you'll notice that LA28 is also on here. So they have committed to use ramp as their advertising platform for any of their Olympic related procurement opportunities. Um, so uh, so what are our goals and objectives? So why are we doing this? Well, that's because we strongly believe that small businesses are the backbone of the American economy. And that's why the city is working and looking for ways to encourage small and local businesses to participate in our procurement process. And how can RAMP help small businesses who register? Well, we think that it will save you time and energy by because what we're doing is we're congregating a lot of this public procurement opportunities into a single platform. Because like I know I could say I would want to save time whenever I can. So we're trying to make it to facilitate that process. We think that we also provide free advertising. Um, on a smaller scale, like private regional partners use RAMP as one of the ways that they use to meet their diversity goals. This platform is also a tool that we require all our large contractors on larger scale projects. And it's their required outreach tool. So it's helpful to be registered on RAMP as well. So on the next slide, we'll talk about how to use RAMP. You will have access, like if you register, you'll receive email notifications. So you won't have to daily look. If you register, you can register in such a way so that you can get notified directly of any of the notifications that get posted that are relevant to you. You can also sign up for our biweekly newsletters, and we'll have information about highlighted opportunities and also trainings and events and things like information about our vendor demonstrations. Once that e-bidding tool becomes available, we'll also be announcing that through our biweekly newsletter. Another thing you can use RAMP for is to submit certifications. Right now, you can only submit it for getting your local certification, but just as a heads up, if I hope that everybody here wants to work with the city, that if you're a local business, you can submit a certification application confirming that you are a local business, and the city provides a preference to make sure that you get a leg up by being located within the city of LA. We also have preferences for businesses who are located within the county, but there's a higher preference for those who are within the city. So please do take advantage of that and submit your certification applications. It's for free, but certainly it will reap you benefits when you do decide to bid with the city. Lastly, how you could use RAMP is to conduct research. Whenever I'm in conferences, the first thing I usually hear is like, does the city buy X, Y, or Z, or this, like, what services do you go to bid for these services? Well, not a single person will know everything, but surely RAMP will have all that information, and so it's a really helpful tool for you to be familiarized with. You can find out what it is, what things and what services the city procures. We're also you can find out who the contract administrators are for those specific procurement. And like I said, like what Jessica had said earlier, we're not quite the team of buyers. We're decentralized fashion, and so it's really important to know like all the contract coordinators for all the different departments. And so that information is also available on RAMP. And then you can use Ramp to also conduct research about how much we've awarded past contracts. And so that's a really interesting way for you to kind of gauge whether you would want to work with the city given what we've previously awarded our vendors. Like, are we your next big fish or were we too small of a fish for you? So that's one way for you to also use Ramp. And lastly, I kind of want to wrap up my portion with some encouragement in terms of first, be patient. I think that there's a lot to learn in terms of the city's procurement and all our compliance documentation. And if you're new, start slow. We have a number of links at the end of this webinar that you can click through and watch. And it's meant for first-time bidders. And so it gives you a little bit of an orientation of the city's procurement process. So second of all, please don't give up. Reach out to more than one contract administrator. Like just the slide before, I've encouraged you to please reach out to some of our contract administrators. And sometimes not everyone will respond. And so don't give up, right? Reach out. Like yourselves, many of our city staff team members, they do more than just procurement. Like people wear many hats in their jobs. And so sometimes they do get inundated and they're not always able to respond timely. Um, so, but don't give up. So attend the pre-bid meetings, another great way to get to know who have been, who are the potential prime contractors or subcontractors that you can potentially work with in the future. So use those meetings to network with other people. And lastly, know that we're here to help. We are certainly not going to help in terms of helping you one-on-one complete bids, but we have business source centers that will help you do that. And we have information at the end of this webinar that can direct you. But where we could be really helpful is to give you some guidance and some like citywide knowledge on how to work our system and to understand who you'd be better off talking to and which departments might be better off in terms of you trying to spend your time getting to know, like we can help direct you that way. And so if you want to reach out to me, feel free. My email address is leah.chu, leah.chu at lacity.org, and be more than happy to help provide some guidance and also assistance if you need it. And with that, I'm going to hand the meeting back to Jessica.
Thank you, Leah, for that great overview of the benefits of RAMP. Now we would like to share a testimonial video from one of our vendors on RAMP.
Hello, my name is Anita Ron, and I'm the proud owner of Brightworks Inc. Brightworks Inc. is a commercial janitorial service located in Covina, California. Our philosophy is to take care of our employees, and they definitely will take care of our clients, providing the best cleaning solutions out there when it comes to just the regular general cleaning, carpet cleaning, floor care services, disinfecting. We started out with 3 vacuum cleaners and $700 and a lot of ganas. Many people would say that I was crazy when I started the business, but I'm proud to say that been in business now for 25 years. We're employing about 160 employees. It has been an adventure, and really have rolled up my sleeves and gotten in there trying to figure out how to grow the business and how to create jobs. I think we've made a difference within our communities. So one of the things I did do is getting involved and getting certified as a minority women-owned business. And by having that certification and really getting involved and using some of the things and tools that they offer to their suppliers and members has helped our organization get business, get contracts. I think RAMP is going to really help us out when we're trying to grow our organization and really make a difference in creating jobs. I think that's the biggest thing with this program. It helps create jobs within the communities that serve the city of Los Angeles. RAMP is just a program that actually puts the whole procurement opportunities on steroids. And that's the great thing, because that helps the small businesses when they're putting so much time and effort into the services that they're providing. I get a lot of calls from small business saying, hey, Anita, I'd like to know how you grew your business, or how did you do it? The magic sauce is really actually rolling up your sleeves and getting involved and really providing the quality service or the product that you're delivering. And these are just tools that you can use in order to master what you're trying to do and accomplish, grow your organization. So get involved, make an impact, register on RAMP, because those are the things that are going to help you. And that's what Help Bright works. We are certified, we're a women minority business, and that has given us the best opportunities in order to be able to bid on some of these projects that we have right now. For all you small businesses that are out there that are struggling and trying to figure out what is going to give them value, I encourage you to register on rampla.org. So right now, get on that computer and sign up.
That was a great testimonial from Anita Ron on the benefits of RAMP, and we are glad that it has served her well as an important resource for her business. Now for an overview of the RAMP registration process. The first step is to click on the Login, Register green colored button on the top right-hand corner to begin the registration process. After doing so, you will be taken to the Angelino account landing page. Please sign up by clicking the Sign Up button beside the Don't Have an Account Yet text. The registration process can be done rather quickly, taking about 15 minutes to complete. Next, please enter your email. Make sure that your password includes uppercase, lowercase, at least one number, and special characters. For your phone number, it's recommended that you list your cell phone number for authentication purposes, should you enable that. Lastly, be sure to check I'm not a robot, then click on the blue Register button. The system will indicate that a verification email has been sent to you, so proceed to check your email for verification from Angelino. If you did not receive an email, please check your spam folder or make sure that you type the correct email address. You should receive a Welcome to Angelino email. Angelino is the city's single sign-on system, which allows users to log into several city websites and applications with a single login credential. An Angelino account is required in order to register and log into RAMP. Activate your account by clicking on the green link within the email. Fill out the noted fields. For sole proprietorships, your name is the company name, not the DBA. Do not put a DBA as your company name. Sole proprietorships will not be required to add a tax ID. As noted on the slide, filling out your company's information will also enable you to determine whether your company is already registered in RAMP. This is important in order to avoid establishing duplicate accounts. Your title must be typed in where indicated. For sole proprietorships, enter the owner's name. Complete all of these sections and only enter a registered DBA. DBAs are registered within the county where your business is located. You may add a logo if you have one. In the summary section, this is your opportunity to clearly describe what your company does. The space allows a maximum of 200 characters, not including spaces, so be concise. For the business address section, do not use a PO box. Use a physical address, otherwise the system will reject your entry. Please note that your phone number requires dashes. Please also enter an email address for your business. If you have a business tax registration certificate or BTRC, please enter that number. Otherwise, contact the city's Office of Finance to apply for one. Your BTRC only applies if your business is located within the City of LA or if you're interested in doing business with the City of LA. While it does not contain an asterisk indicating a required field to be filled out, please indicate whether your company is for-profit or a nonprofit business. The most important step is register as, where it is encouraged that the prime sub designation is selected. By selecting this option versus selecting only prime or only sub, you increase the number of notifications you may receive regarding all opportunities related to your business type. Please note that these designations refer to all types of vendors, not to be confused with only those in the construction field. The North American Industry Classification System, or NICS codes, can be found on your taxes on the header under Box B, or you can find the codes in the U.S. Census website at the address noted on the slide. These codes are related to your business industry and are 6 digits long. By completing this section, you will be notified of contracting opportunities that relate to your business industry. Please review your company's NICS codes to make sure the codes listed under your company's profile are relevant to your company's type of work. Keep in mind that only your company's administrator can change your company's NICS codes. Additional guidance can be found in the support page under the user's manual section on how to update your company's NICS codes. At this stage, you may complete the demographics that relate to you as a business owner. The other identifying info drop-down space is for identifying male, female, or other. Number of employees is optional if under 20. For annual revenue, this information is optional to provide. For the work history section, it is the opportunity to talk about your work experience. You may wish to use any information from a LinkedIn account if you have one. This slide lists the various certifications that you may have applied for and serves as a space for verification of your current certifications with recognized agencies. You may skip the certification step if it doesn't apply to you. Otherwise, if certifications were completed by any of the other entities as noted on the left side of the slide, know that they are recognized by the City of Los Angeles as well. If you skip this section initially, know that you may return to it later if when you have certifications to list. You are now at the end of your registration process where you can review your profile and your business information. Please take time to review it carefully, especially the administrator details, company name, and tax ID, as these fields can only be changed by RAM support. After reviewing the information, scroll all the way to the bottom and click on the green Submit button. You are officially registered in RAMP when you see the Thank you for registering message. As stated on all vendor profiles, the City of Los Angeles does not endorse, take no responsibility for, nor exercises control over the information by the linked organizations. The City of Los Angeles is also not responsible for its view, content, nor does it vouch for the accuracy or accessibility of the information. The City of Los Angeles also cannot authorize the use of copyrighted materials containing linked websites. Users must request such information and authorization from the sponsor or owner of the linked website. Now for a review of some RAMP resources. To access these resources, please click on Support at the top right-hand corner next to the Login Register button, where you will locate frequently asked questions regarding registration, your RAMP profile, certifications, and other helpful information. You may also wish to refer to the set of frequently asked questions that were included in the initial email regarding your RAMP webinar registration. You can also access user manuals for submitting your company compliance documents, for understanding the Business Inclusion Program outreach process, as well as how to add NICS codes and licenses to your profile. We highly recommend you take the time to review these resources before submitting a SNOTE ticket, requesting technical assistance, as they may provide the information you are seeking. Now we would like to cover some frequently asked account-related questions. After you have registered, you may have some additional account questions. For example, how do I update my business profile? We recommend that you refer to the Account Management Manual for guidance on how to manage users, pending or adding, and how to update your account. Please know that only the administrator can edit the Business Inclusion Program roles and access for other users, deactivate inactive users, add users, request certification verification, and submit compliance documents. You cannot delete users. You can only deactivate them. This is to prevent them from creating a new account. All users must have an Angelino sign-in account and must have been added to your account during the registration process. See page 7, section 3A of the Registering on Ramp New Registration Manual for more information. Another account-related question may be, how do I change company name and tax IDs? The company name and tax ID are two fields the account administrator cannot change. In order to do so, please send us a request by submitting a ticket on the RAMP web form using the link shown on the slide, and attach official documentation such as the California Secretary of State filing, Business Tax Registration Certificate, BTRC, or tax account document supporting these changes. One last account-related question we receive often is, how do I change the company account administrator? If the current administrator is no longer with the company and/or unable to request the administrator change, we ask that you send a request by submitting a ticket to the RAMP web form using the link shown on the slide. Please note that if a group email is chosen as the administrator email, those who have access to the email will also have access to edit the RAMP account and make any changes to the account, such as changes to the company's profile, user management settings, and access to business inclusion. These are the risks that come with using a shared email account. We recommend using an individual's email account as the admin for accountability. Now we will cover some certifications related questions. One common question about certification is, what are the qualifications to be recognized as a certified company? The certifications fact can provide guidance on the qualifications for the certifications listed on this slide. Some of the certifications recognized include Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, and Women-Owned Business Enterprise. Another common certification question is, how do I apply to be a certified company recognized by the City of Los Angeles? The Office of Contract Compliance, Certification, Outreach, Regulations, and Enforcement is responsible for administering the city's certification program and verify certifications. You may visit the OCC website for more information. Currently, only the following certifications can be applied through RAMP: Local Business Preference Program certifications, Local State Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, LAWA, Local Business Enterprise Harbor. These certifications on RAMP User Manual can provide guidance on how to request verification, recognition of current certifications, and how to apply for the notice certifications on RAMP. Please note that when applying for any certifications, the legal name of your company should be used. Another common certification question is, my company is already certified. How do I request to be recognized as such on RAMP? Please download the Certifications on RAMP User Manual, which outlines the process for how to request verification of your current certifications to be listed on RAMP. Remember that you must already be a certified company in order to be verified as such on RAMP. Now for questions about opportunities. To be clear, when we speak about an opportunity or opportunities, we are referring to contracting opportunities with either the city or any of our regional partners who use RAMP to advertise their needs for particular contractors. Some common opportunity-related questions include, how can I view or download the documents listed with an opportunity? You must be a registered RAMP user and logged into RAMP to download and view the documents listed under an opportunity. Note that the only difference between a user logged in and not logged in is the ability to download documents and files. How can I be notified when an opportunity is posted online? Registered and active users on RAMP will receive notifications when an opportunity matches the NAICS codes in your company's profile. Another opportunity-related question includes, how do I get more information on a specific opportunity? If you have a question about an opportunity, please contact the department contact person listed for that opportunity, who can answer questions regarding that specific opportunity. This slide and the following 3 slides will show how to navigate through an opportunity to help you find the opportunity contact person. On your account, go to Search for Opportunities. Fill in the information on the filters on the left side to customize the opportunity search. Then click on any opportunity you are interested in, such as innovative partnerships as shown by the red arrow. This slide shows the opportunity details, which includes the contact person. If you're interested in bidding on this opportunity, you may click the Add to Bookmarks button to save the opportunity for future reference. Once you go back to your account, you may click Bookmarks on the left side under the Company Details list of items in order to access any bookmarked opportunities. The Opportunity Innovative Partnership will be saved to your account profile. Now, for a review of questions regarding compliance documents. When responding to a city opportunity, please know that you will be required to submit some contract and compliance documents with your proposal, and any remaining documents will be required at the time of contract execution should you be selected as a contractor. Regarding the submission of compliance documents, please know that all companies registered on RAMP may complete compliance documents in advance or at the time of responding to a contracting opportunity. All forms may only be completed and submitted by the company administrator on RAMP under the Compliance Documents section of your business profile, as shown on the next slide. Each form is only valid for a specified amount of time as indicated. You may refer to the Company Compliance Documents Manual under the RAMP Support section for detailed submission instructions. However, please note that these instructions do not apply to bidders or proposers responding to contracting opportunities advertised by the Los Angeles World Airports, the Port of Los Angeles, and the Department of Water and Power. Under the Compliance Documents section of your business profile, you may upload your disclosure ordinance and equal benefits first source hiring ordinance affidavits, as well as your Executive Directive 35 compliance information. The submitted forms will be verified by the city's Bureau of Contract Administration, only if your company is a successful proposer or bidder selected for contract award. Lastly, pursuant to Directive 35, if a bidder is selected and awarded a contract, and if the contractor is a for-profit company or corporation, the contractor shall, within 30 days of the effective date of the contract, and on an annual basis thereafter, report the following information to the city via RAMP: the contractors and any subcontractors' annual revenue, number of employees, location, industry, race, ethnicity, and gender of the majority owner. The purpose of ED 35 is to collect standardized information from businesses that the city contracts with in order to determine which areas, industries, and types of businesses are faced with barriers to contracting. The data collected is for informational and statistical purposes only and will not be used in the bid proposal submission, bid evaluation, or awarding process. For specific reporting instructions, please refer to the ED 35 compliance procedure on RAMP's support page. Lastly, we would like to offer some additional business resources. Please know that we have conducted a number of informative small business webinars to provide small businesses with resources and guidance on how to do business with the city. Links to the YouTube recordings are available for your use in accessing these past webinars. Included on this slide are links to the various business source centers that provide technical assistance to small businesses throughout the city of Los Angeles. Also included on the slide are other helpful business resources for your reference. That completes our presentation for today, and we hope this information has been helpful in getting you registered on RAMP, as well as answering some commonly asked questions and demonstrating some key functions. Should you require additional RAMP information or assistance, please submit your request through our web form, which can be accessed at the address on this slide. You may also wish to follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Just a reminder, this presentation was recorded and you will receive a copy of the recording, the slide deck, and the chat history. Our next monthly RAMP registration webinar is scheduled for Wednesday, November 20th at 11 a.m. At this time, we do have a few more minutes to verbally respond to a couple of questions from the chat. We also welcome Leah Chu and Liz Diaz to assist in answering some of these questions.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I haven't quite if you have a question that has not yet been answered, feel free to come off mute and we'd love to try and answer your questions, any questions you might have.
Hi, if possible, can you re-show the last 4 slides, preferably the one with the webinars?
Oh, and don't worry, if you've registered, you're gonna get a copy of these slides, so don't worry about copying them. But thank you, Crystal, for moving us to the correct slide.
Thank you so much.
And the QR code does provide you with yet more resources in addition to what's listed on the slide. So you can always, once you receive the slide deck, you can scan that for additional resources.
I have a question. Is there any specific part of the registration process that most vendors or a number of vendors find the most challenging to get through?
Maybe probably identifying the right NICS codes.
Okay.
Because they are pretty broad and you have to, and sometimes some of them overlap. So one good thing and bad thing is that if you use all your 10 NICS codes, you'll basically cover your bases. But the bad thing about that is you're also going to get a lot of emails from the RAMP website. So I think that's the part that we've learned from like conventions that we've been to that people find frustrating.
Oh, okay.
I see a hand up for Patricia.
Yes, I was wondering, I already registered at rampla.org, and I don't recall being asked to register for Angelino, whatever. I don't recall that part. I only recall registering on RAMP. Is that something new? The
No,
Angelino portion?
we've always had it, and it kind of happens so quickly that you probably won't even know. Like once you verified your email, your Angelino account has already been set up. So that's probably why it felt a little seamless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I'm glad to hear that though. That's a good thing. When people don't remember, that means it was just very easy.
Leah, I saw a question that asked in the chat, how many projects are there? It's probably hundreds. So, again, the number of projects currently posted on RAMP could reflect any number of departments within the city and or any of our regional partners. So there's probably several. I see that we've given you also a response on how you might want to search particular opportunities to find something specific to your business.
I have a question. My name is Rosalind Kelly. And my question is, hi, once the vendor has won the reward for the business, do we have access to how much that bid went for and who
You,
won it? Is that
yes,
available?
on ramp, it would be, but I have to say that we don't, we haven't been hounding our departments to make sure that that information is posted, but when they do, it is available on ramp.
Thank you.
Do I have to raise my hand for a question?
No. Hi, Louise.
Okay, perfect. Hi, how's it going?
Good. Yourself?
Good, I hope. Well, I'm doing well, thank you, and hope everybody's having a good day. Just briefly, my main concern is as a startup, how how possible or like based on my lack of resources at the moment, how plausible is it for someone like me to be able to have an opportunity, or what are my like what are the percentage of chances of winning a bid for something that for instance the type of service, goods and services that I provide people with.
So it really depends, right? I don't know the scale or the service that
Mhm,
you provide, and that's why we always refer people to ramp to kind of start that research. But
mhm,
I would say that even if you lack resources, we can refer you to certain business or centers who are also CDFIs that could assist in providing you with capital to help. And usually those programs would use your, like if you won a bid with us, they would use that
mhm.
as your collateral in terms of being able to approve a loan that could help support your business and providing that service to the city. And we also have services that help you get the required bonding and insurance that are required. Insurance is always required. Bonding is sometimes required for construction related services.
Mm.
So I would say that not knowing much about your specific service, I would say that to be honest, I think it's not always easy to find small business opportunities within the city
And I
because they
figure,
are it's usually larger contracts, right? But
right,
we are working on trying to create more community level contracting. So in that way, we are working towards being able to service businesses like yourself, Louise. If you want to start like and keeping things small, but that is something that is still on the works. But it doesn't mean that there are not small opportunities that are available because if you do go on ramp, some of them are kind of relatively smaller dollar amount, but be you do have to search for them. And I would say that they're not usually ones under 100,000 are not there's not as much opportunities at that level, but it doesn't mean it's not there. There's just not
right.
a lot.
So just to continue that question, so what you're trying to tell me is basically you will have to have X amount of employees, X amount of resources to back up your loans and stuff like that. And also what like well, like let's say if I were to be able to find something, because I'm pretty sure based on what I offer people, I will be able to find something, but just mainly what are the percentages of what you will have to actually pay back as far as APR if you were to actually grant a loan or I don't know, any
Oh, the
type of
city doesn't so the city doesn't approve those loans. It's different agencies who would interact with you to try and approve those loans, but from my understanding, they're usually lower than market rate. So it would
okay,
be worth it, like even just talking to them to just find
right,
out what your options are, not just for
okay,
working with the city, for any other business opportunities that you might have.
okay. Well, thank you for answering my question. Very nice.
No, thank you for joining us today. I see Patricia's hand is raised again.
Yes, thank you. I have another question if no one else has a question. I am CEO of Milana Medical Supplies, And I was wondering if there's a place on Ramp where I can find how many hospitals are registered with Ramp and looking for procurement on Ramp.
I don't believe, I mean, to be honest, we have I think the name of the association is slipping my mind, but but we've been told that our hospital association don't quite use it in a way that the city uses it, meaning that the city, we post the procurement opportunity, but from our understanding, the hospital association uses this in terms of just looking at the business profiles to find out what kinds of women and diverse business enterprises are on there to do their outreach. So they use it more like as a directory more than they do as a place to advertise their bids.
Hmm.
Hi, Dia.
Okay.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
My name is
I have
Hima
a-
Nicoletti. I run a technology company, and we are registered with Ramp LA. Thank you so much for your presentation. I learned something new today. Under
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually registered as a Prime, but now I'm going to do Prime Sub
So,
because
yes.
I work with the state of California, several departments. We won several contracts with the state. We haven't been able to work with the city of LA yet. So I guess my profile is not popping out there. And probably, like I said, maybe, I mean, I'm so used to working as a prime with the state. I just forget that, I can also sub with some large corporations. My question to you is, how do we get to see these corporations actually registered on LA, Ramp LA? Do we get to see them? Do we know who's registered? Is there a way that we can reach out to them?
Yes, and so usually when you do your search on Ramp,
Mm-hmm.
it's pre-filtered for those that are open and amended. So if you change, so when you're on Ramp, change the status. So what the name of the field is called status. And so you normally open and amended is pre-checked. So take off those checks and find for the ones that says bidder selected or awarded. When you do that, then start your search for your industry. And then
Mm-hmm.
the ones that show up, you can click through it, and then that's where you'll find information if it's available. And only, of course, it's if it's with the city of LA.
Mm-hmm.
If it were with a different organization, because we also have LAUSD, we have LA County, we wouldn't have award information, but at least for the city of LA, I'm gonna say hopefully you'll find both the who's been awarded and for how much on those opportunities that have been marked as awarded.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a good cue. Thank you. Because I'm registered on Cali Procure, right? Because
Okay.
we work with the state. Out
Yes.
there we see all our primes and who all are the businesses that work with the departments. We also
Mhm.
get to advertise or looking for primes or looking for subs when we want to partner with DVBs and all. So that's why I was wondering if there's something like that on Ramp LA as well. But yeah, this
Not
is a good
not
one.
yet, but thank you for that tip though. We'll
Thank
consider
you.
that.
Of course.
Uh,
Thank you.
Lisa, you have your hand up?
Yes, I have a question about the the tax business certificate. I went onto the finance website, the finance.lacity.org. How do you find your business tax registration certificate on that website? That's just a catch-all website for everything.
Liz, would you have the link?
I
Are
think,
you
I think we have the link, but,
Yeah, I grabbed the link.
okay. But did you already apply for a BTRC?
I mean, I must have a business tax license for doing business for 20 years,
With
right?
the city of Los Angeles?
Yes, I'm a LA City and I'm also a women-owned business certification also.
hold on. Could I just get your name really quickly? Sorry. I see Lisa Gar, but what's the name of your, sorry, I'm going on the website right now.
Business is called JNL Productions and it's
Okay.
DBA is standing room only. And JNL Productions Inc.
Okay. Okay, I see Daniel coming up. Were you able to find the link or?
I found the LA City finance link, yes.
Let me see if I
no,
can pull up
sorry.
the data, the open data portal, because there is a sorry, could you say the business name one more time? Or if not, I can give you
Oh, I'll
the
chat
link
you,
to.
Daniel.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And then
So
while
I'm
we're
on
sorry.
I'm on the LA City finance.lacity.gov.
Yes. And let us give us a few minutes to just look it up. Sorry, I'm chatting him right now.
That's great.
Um,
Thanks.
but while we're working on that, Lisa, does anybody have any questions while our team's working on that question?
Leah, Keith McGregor, sorry, I
Hi,
can't figure out how to raise my hand.
that's okay.
I'm a contractor. I'm a general contractor in a small business here in the city of Los Angeles. And I've already been on Ramp for a while. I've been getting the emails. I've been reviewing opportunities. There seems like there's a lot of opportunity out there for what I do. Something that just came across my desk recently was an opportunity for an extended $3 million contract to install stoves for LAUSD. It was like a service style contract. It met some of my requirements. I currently do not hold the California D34 sub license that it requires, but the bidding is due in like 2 weeks. So there's only a limited pool of people in the city of Los Angeles that hold this, as I looked up on the contractor state licensing board. What's the possibility of seeing these opportunities further out as opposed to seeing them with such a short turnaround on when you can accept a bid because you're missing what is all intents and purposes 3 years ago fallen under my license, but now that the state of California has done a giant money grab to license every little tiny trade, and you guys require that. How do we navigate that?
So Keith, we're not with LAUSD. So LAUSD is more of one of the partners who kind of use Ramp to also advertise their opportunities. But I think my best guess and my suggestion would be to reach out to the contract administrator to either find out if there's room to be able to consider your bid as you work out trying to get your license updated. But
It just seems
yeah.
like the bidding opportunities, the windows are so narrow that if you're not already established at doing that one particular thing, then you just don't have the window of time
To
to
get it in the
get it.
meantime.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm kind of saying talk to the contract administrator to find out if there's room for interpretation. Within the city, we have such a thing as like minimum requirements, but also
Right.
requirements that we don't need until like the contract is executed. So there is certainly sometimes wiggle room between your having that license, um, between now to when you have to execute that contract. So I think your best bet is to reach out to LAUSDs and that specific procurement's contract administrator.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
And Keith, one more thing, I would recommend whenever you're reviewing opportunities from the get-go is to examine exactly what you're saying. You know, what are those requirements? And then quickly asking the contract administrator, the opportunity owner, in this case, it's the school district, not the city of Los Angeles, about any of those exceptions or, you know, what alternatives you have. So, and that would be true for anybody who's listening. You know, when you're reviewing opportunities, it's really important for you to thoroughly review what the qualifications, what the requirements are. And usually they'll have, at least for the city of Los Angeles, we can't speak for all of our partners, our regional partners, but certainly for the city of Los Angeles, we usually have an opportunity where you can submit questions. And so, you know, again, we urge you to review those quickly, find out what questions you have, submit them so that you can get a response, and then determine whether or not you're able to fulfill the requirements as stated within, you know, the the opportunity document. That way, again, and then make sure you're always asking the right entity what questions you may have. And what they usually do with most departments do is they will not respond to you. They're not supposed to at least respond to you directly, but they will post the response to your questions on the particular opportunity. So you'll look for that, and then you usually should get notified. But you might want to always continue to check in with those opportunities to see if there's any updated information that will impact your ability to respond fully.
Hi, my name is Linda. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Linda.
Hello. I don't know if I missed this part or not, but did you say that you can go look up past bids and see what they bidded?
Well, not everybody's bid, but certainly the one who's been awarded and the contract amount.
Okay. Oh, not the actual breakdown of the bid, but just the amount, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And there's a question, let's see. Okay, I think it looks like it was answered about the compliance documents. So thank you, SRAP support, for answering
And
that
Lisa,
question.
just confirming that you were able to get the information from Daniel.
I did, and I found my
Okay.
number. Thank you so much for your help. That was
Awesome.
really quick. Thank you. All right. Did you hear me? Sorry, I had a call that just come in. Yes, all
worries.
good. Thank you. I got the number and everything is great. Thank you
Sounds
very
good.
much. That was quick.
Any last questions?
I actually have one more.
Sounds good.
Just briefly, for the minority business owner certification, how complicated is it to get approved if you were to apply? Is it
Yeah.
like a one same day type of situation, or does it take a while?
No, we hear that there's a pretty big backlog whenever it comes to getting the minority and women business certification. But if I may suggest, if you are a local business, to go after that, because that is gonna give your business a leg up. Like depending on whether you're in the county or the city, you'll get a like pretty significant preference from like potentially up to 12% preference, depending on the amount of the contract and where you're located. So
Yeah, I'm
And
located in LA and also in the LA County, so
yeah,
and
so
Luis, another I guess recommendation would be to go to the
yes.
state of California DGS, which is the Department of General Services, where you can sign up for your small business enterprise, which is like 15 minutes. And then you should be able to designate if you're a micro small business. From what it sounds like, you're just starting up, which you could be probably qualified for that, as well as
Right.
I believe DVBE, so disabled veteran if you were serving and discharged and while disabled. So that's the fastest way to probably get get a certification for SPE. And then to Leia's point, yes, the LBE has like financial ramifications towards your bid and your proposals. So those two are kind of the 1-2 punch combo that we would recommend as the ones you get first. And then MBE and so forth can take a while to Leia's point.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Well, that sounds like a something that I'll be looking forward towards doing.
sounds
Thank
good.
you both, Mr. Choi and Ms. Shu.
One other question, Keith McGregor here. Lewis, it's actually pretty easy. It was pretty straightforward to get all that stuff taken care of. One of the things is, and it's challenging, is they only accept tax documents from the previous year between a certain window. And if you've already extended past that window, it's almost like you have to wait until almost an entire quarter before you can resubmit your next following year's tax document. So there's a little bit of a hiccup in where they're doing that to qualify you financially, but you got to jump through those hoops. One other question that I had is, when it comes to awarding
Thank you.
the bid, is it strictly a numbers game? Like your bottom dollar bid is going to get you in, or is there any relationship marketing happening with the city? So if you've done 5 projects, and you've proven that you can do the jobs, does that play any part, or is it strictly you're $10 less, you're going to get the bid?
It really depends because I can't speak for LAUSD, but with the city, we have something called either lowest most responsive bid, wherein we do take into consideration that if you you could be the lowest bid, but that department may choose not to go with you if you've somehow failed to complete a prior project or if you've been debarred. So there's certain requirements as well as making sure that you are compliant with all of our compliance requirements. So making sure you've also completed all the compliance documentation that's related to your project, since we have different documentation for different types of projects. So that would be one way. Another way that we do evaluate our bids is not through bids, but rather through an evaluation of based on other criteria. So I would assume that might not be as relevant for you in the construction industry. Usually with the city, we do lowest most responsive bid, but in the event that there are, just as an FYI, we do some departments when they go through the proposal route, they'll not just take into consideration the costs, but also past performance and also other like qualifications, and then they'll kind of weight how much of each it is worth, like how much your bid cost is going to be weighted on, how much your qualifications is weighted, and all of that needs to be done transparently, meaning that it needs to be on the art request for proposal itself if they decide to do that.
Yeah, so just as somebody trying to break into getting into business with the city of Los Angeles as a small business without past performance, it seems like there's going to be some challenges there.
Not necessarily, but I think one of the things that I think you've said installation. I remember you saying stove installation earlier. What's the general kind of, is it, what's your general business kind of
I'm a general
category?
contractor. I've built
General
giant, I've built giant industrial buildings. I've built residential houses. So we're essentially labor. We can do all of the things. So it can effectively address many of the different options that the ramp is putting out there. It's just what opportunity is going to be best for me to break into your market.
Yeah, that's the only one that's coming to mind right now is I know our general services department is releasing a whole bunch of requests for qualifications for a number of different services. So they're going to be requests for qualifications. And what that means is they're about to create a list of contractors that they intend to work with in the future, but not right now. But what they're trying to do is also pre-qualify you to make sure that, hey, that you've met everything that they need before they execute that contract with you. And so I think what I'd suggest is to keep an eye out for them. I think I got a chat from their contract coordinator that they're releasing about like over a dozen like construction related bids in the next few weeks. And so I would suggest that you look into that. So um, and just kind of a heads up, because I think RFQs are a little bit of a different process than what you're probably are you familiar with the request for qualifications process and pre-qualifying?
I have read through some of the opportunities where it says these are the qualifications that are necessary, and I'm familiar with 8 out of 10 of them, or I qualify for 8 out of 10 of them, and then it's like, oh, you need this state license, which theoretically didn't exist 5 years ago,
Before,
but now does. And because what I would have qualified for 5 years ago, now I have to go take another test for on a trade side to get another asterisk next to my name, so that
and it's gonna take longer than the 3 weeks that you got.
So it ticks a box for what legally has to happen, and staying, and it's kind of a tragedy, but I don't want to take everybody else's time. So,
No, but I would just suggest you look on our website in the next week or two for
Okay.
GSD's construction forces, and then you'll find a number of RFQ requests for qualifications. And the point that I wanted to make is that these requests for qualifications will not result in immediate work.
Sure.
But what it is that you're going to be pre-qualified so that when they do have a project, they're going to be looking at that pre-qualified list, and those lists are going to be good for 3 years. And so
Yeah,
that's
you're on a pre-qualified bidders list. It makes perfect sense.
yeah. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Nelly, you've had your hand up.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I just want to say a couple of things. I saw you, I met you at the Sport Entertainment Supply Anniversary Summit. It was a great summit. I really enjoyed it, and that's why I'm here. I just signed
Awesome.
up for it. I currently have a contract with LAUSD. I do healthy vending. So you may remember me. Anyway, so my question is, if I see a bid on the website, do I get to see the location? I just don't want to. LA is so big, and I'm here in San Fernando Valley. I don't want to go really far away.
Say that one more. So what is the question? If you will see the location of the where to bid? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, usually I think most of the city is now like accepting bids via email. I'm not sure if unless you're doing construction with Public Works, are they still taking those bids like in person, like at board? I'm looking at my team. I don't know
I
if
think
they still
so.
do
So I
that.
mean, the sealed competitive bids are a bit different when they do it kind
Yeah.
of like the last minute. But yeah, to your point, services as well as commodity or services for sure, probably not. Probably
Yeah,
less.
if we did go when we go out for that RFP for vending machines, that will go out online, and we will be accepting proposals online. Not online, sorry, but rather via email. And that's usually our standard process now for most city
Okay,
departments.
and the bid will give the location where the work is needed?
Yes,
Okay.
it will. Yeah.
Okay, that is my main question. Okay, good to see
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
And then also, Nelly, I think there are some things like the one we've been talking about with Keith, is that if you do end up in a pre-qualified list, then in that situation, you wouldn't know because they're pre-qualifying for potential future work that they might not be familiar with.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good. Thank you.
okay. Cynthia?
Yes, hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
I just wanted to, first of all, thank you guys for this seminar. It's very informative. Thank you so much for taking the time to direct all that information to us. My question is, I believe I heard in the beginning, but I'm not too sure if I heard correctly, that you were able to provide us with direct procurement contacts for our specific business categories.
No, we that's the one thing we cannot do in terms of helping you, like, wait, we can't help you submit bids, but if you have questions like, hey, like kind of like what other people have asked, like how with this industry, like which departments should I really be talking to, and like who'd be most likely want to work with and use our services, then we can help you through that discussion. But look through if you want help specifically on submitting bids or proposals, that would be with our business source centers.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for everybody's time. And then do I hand it back to Jessica for some closing remarks?
Thank you, Leah. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and have a great day, everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.